Hey everybody, I'm Eric from GameShampoo.com, and today I'm going to tell you about character creation in Mass Effect 3. This seems kind of straightforward, but actually it's not quite so much. There have been a few changes to the whole process in Mass Effect 3 that weren't really in the last games. So the first one is that if you're starting anew, you're starting fresh, you basically have a choice between these three different modes, as I call them here. And there's action mode, story mode, and role-playing mode. Action mode is all about the combat, to the extent that they actually automate the conversations for you. So it's really just for those who like a straight up action game. They don't even want to stop to go through all of the conversation options or anything like that. And you'll find that basically your character ends up coming out kind of a 50-50 Paragon Renegade here. Since you don't really have any choice in how it goes, they just kind of say well, this time he's going to be Paragon, this time he's going to be Renegade. And then you can choose story mode. Story mode is kind of almost the opposite of that. It's basically just normal Mass Effect, except the combat is a lot easier, and then the conversations are played up. So it's not going to automate any of the combat like action mode would automate the story for you, but it's going to be super hard to actually die during a battle. So like I said, that's kind of the opposite of action mode. And then finally we have role-playing mode, and this is basically what you're used to out of Mass Effect. So if you have been playing Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, and you just want more of that, you should play role-playing mode. It is a nice blend of story and combat, and it's basically the true Mass Effect experience. And note that combat difficulty itself is actually separate from those decisions, so you can play on story mode, but you can still be playing insanity difficulty if you wanted to. It's just that will be a little bit easier than it would be in action mode or role-playing mode. So, even the hardest difficulty is still not really the hardest thing the game has to offer in story mode. So once you get in, you're going to find a pretty standard suite of options here, especially for people who've played Mass Effect before. This is going to look pretty familiar. You're going to start off with a default male Shepard. This time there's also a default female Shepard for those who like to play that way. If those aren't really to your liking, though, you can go in and tweak the appearance as much as you want, and there are going to be multiple options for facial appearance. You have different eyes, different hair, different nose styles. You can shape the cheeks however you want and the jaw however you want. Make them as cool or bizarre looking as you want to. The editor's pretty good about letting you make a total freak show abomination person. And then once you finish with that, you go on to your personal background. And this kind of decides how certain characters will speak to you in conversations. It's not huge, but you can basically say, for example, Shepard was maybe the lone survivor of an attack, and so now, during a conversation, somebody might say, well, I know you were the only survivor on this planet, so I know you can get the job done, or something like that. Or you can say that maybe you were the war hero, and you single-handedly, fought off a bunch of soldiers until reinforcements came. So, yeah. It's pretty minor stuff. And then there's different backgrounds as well. So you can say kind of like what your childhood was like. And again, it's really minor stuff, but it's kind of cool. You also get to, if you're playing new, you can choose which soldiers you lost during combat. So you can choose from Caden, Ashley, or a bunch of people. So Caden and Ashley are pretty interchangeable, really. They serve basically the same functions. And then you get to choose your class, which is covered in another video, so go ahead and check that out if you're having any trouble with that, because there are tons of options there. And, I mean, that's it for creating a new character, really. You can import your old characters, of course, too. So, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.